How you doing? It's Rick with WindersRanger. Got a small issue with the range hood in the RV. When I first got this, turned out this side was loose. I don't know, somebody bumped it or whatever, but there was two screws on this one side that stripped out of the we'll call it wood, but there's two screws that hold the vent hood on this side and two on this side, and there's a piece of this cardboard stuff in there that it's real thin. It's probably not even an eighth of an inch. It's maybe more, well, it's probably like a 1/16 of an inch thick. And whether somebody bumped this or just the weight of it stripped those screws out, so this side was hanging. I was able to find some wood up inside there to fasten that and screw it in tight. Well, now this side's loose, and as you can see, I was messing around with it. This screw actually fell out the other day, so we're going to try to fix it. We're going to take this hood down, and we're going to use some of these hollow door anchors and see if maybe we can't fix this thing and get it to where I don't have to worry about it anymore. So let me go get the drill and some drill bits, and we'll see what we can do with this. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we got the hood down, and I was concerned I might not have enough wire to actually let that thing all the way down. As you can see, there was plenty of it tucked up inside there. There's a bit of a recess in the top of the hood that gave some space for that to sit in. But if you've never had an RV, every day is like a surprise. I don't know how well, it's a little dark, a little darker than I'd like it to be. Let me adjust the light here. If you can see, those are the pockets or the holes where the screws were attached. And here's the other side. What a wonderful craftsmanship job. I mean, that's perfect. So this stuff is almost like a cardboard. It's not very thick, but it's actually like pulled through, and I don't know if I can get this to show up or not, but this whole panel's loose back in here. So I guess the only thing really holding that on was the screws that the vent hood attached to. So good job. That's perfect. So now I got to see what's behind there to try to determine whether I can use these anchors like I thought I was going to, or how that's going to work exactly. So stand by. Okay, so we're back. This loose panel, what I ended up doing, I had two small wood screws, shorter wood screws, maybe like 1 inch long or something like that. I used a scope, and I'll add that in the video here. I shoved a scope up inside the hole where this wire is and took a look around to see how much of a space that I have there, if there's any void at all, and if there's anything else up in there I need to worry about, i.e. where these go. Is there any wires that run anywhere else in there that I didn't know about? Turns out, looks like these were the only ones. Had a void in there with two probably 1x1s or something for support underneath the microwave. So pulled that back out, put the wood screws up inside on the back here, just one on this side and one on this side, and drew that back up tighter. With these anchors, what are these? Hollow door anchors is what they're called, plastic toggles. Claims they'll hold up to 124 pounds. That's depending on whatever the surface is that you're putting it in. Requires a 5/16 hole. I tried a 1/4 inch hole first because this stuff is not as strong as I'd like it to be. Turns out you actually need a 5/16 drill bit. So you drill the hole. I drilled all 4 holes where this originally was. These anchors, they come out, if I can hold this where the camera can see it, you can kind of see there, a little hole in the center. There's a washer type flange on the back. basically all you do is the two ends, the two wings there, fold together like that, and that allows you to start that up in the hole. Goes all the way in, and then it wants to fan back out. It comes with a push pin. Once that's up inside the hole, you shove that push pin up inside there, and I believe in theory what that's supposed to do is push those back out flat and secure that. And then when you run your screws up inside, the screws, as they go through there, they'll grab a hold of the top part of this wing and they'll pull that down nice and tight. That way it won't come back out of the hole. So that's what we're going to do next. Throw my stuff on the floor. So we'll be right back. Alright, well there you have it. Got these screws installed, tightened up the hood. Still a little bit loose on this side here, but it's because of the flex in that material, whatever that is that they use. I don't know if it's MDF or what, but like I said, it just feels like a really dense cardboard. Start to finish, probably took 20 minutes, 25 minutes. If it wasn't for having to add the two screws to strengthen this and shoving the scope up inside the void between the hood and the microwave, probably would have only been about a 10-minute job. Take a couple screws out, drop the hood, shove the anchors up in the hole, and put the hood back in place. I did have a little bit of an issue using the push pin. The only one that really seemed like it worked correctly was this front corner. The other three, it seemed like it I don't know, maybe they weren't in far enough, or for whatever reason I couldn't force that in there. I tried using a pair of needle nose pliers to push it in, and I wasn't getting a positive snap where it sounded like the two wings flattened out. Probably not a big issue. I just went ahead and put the screws in. I figured the screws will do one of two things. It'll either widen that out enough that it's going to grip anyway, or as the screw runs in, it's going to push those wings out and then run up through the hole like it's supposed to, because there's a hole in the middle of those two wings. So in theory this should be good to go. Shouldn't have any more issues. It might squeak a little bit now. This back corner, this panel they put in, they cut it to a really snug fit into this cavity, and the trim on the front has forced that panel up against the back wall. So when I put that screw in to tighten everything up, that panel's rubbing on that wall now, making a little bit of a squeak. But I mean, unless you're in here riding in this thing when it's going down the road, you shouldn't notice it at all. It's nice and tight. You're not supposed to ride in a trailer anyway when it's going down the road, so shouldn't be an issue. I don't think it'll even be noticeable. Like I said, if I wiggle it, I got nothing. So just another one of the projects in the trailer, and I still want to do a tour of the trailer, and not so much a tour as maybe like my overall thoughts on how this trailer was built. It's a Heartland. Fuel was the model, Fuel 365, I think. But I'll save that for another video. I got to do some cleaning before I want to share everything with everybody. But I've got some things I'd like to talk about this particular model. It's nice. There's some nice things, some improvements over the old one, and some things that maybe aren't so great. The construction of this stuff is one of them. Of course, I think you find that in any manufacturer. So, and anyway, in any case, thanks for joining me. And if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. It really helps out a lot. If you want to stay up to date on future videos, hit the subscribe button. I'd really like to have you come along with us. And we'll see you all in the next video. Take care.